Okay, guys, it has been 1 year in the making. I have something really exciting to share with you, and I can't wait for you to see them. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Grow RDH podcast. My name is Katie and I'm a dental hygienist from South Dakota. Today on the podcast, I am sharing something with you that maybe some of you are probably expecting, but they're here. The second year that I've done the Grow RDH planners. I'm really excited to share them with you this week. I'm going to kind of introduce you to the old new one, meaning last year was the first year I did a planner. It was 2025 and I had some really cool themes and topics inside. So this year I did the dated planner again. There it is. For those of you that are listening on Spotify, I highly recommend hopping over to YouTube because I'm going to be showing the planners inside. And so I'm going to show some pages. I will try to describe them as much as I can for those that are listening on audio only. But I'm going to show the 2026 planner, and then new this year, I created an undated version. This was by request. Some people kind of got hooked into the planner discussion a little bit later in the year and asked for an undated version. So I'm going to kind of show that off too. These two are literally exactly the same, except for one is dated and one is not. So there's no different themes or topics in either one. They're the same. So I'm going to take you inside and give you a little look inside them. I'm very excited. They just came. I, unboxed them, took a look at them, and it's just so fun seeing them in person because you work so hard on them and you put a lot of time and energy and effort into something that seems so abstract, and then when it's finally here in your hands, it's really exciting to see and share. So the first thing I want to talk about is the difference between last year and this year. I changed up some of the themes inside, but a lot of it still remains the same. What you're going to find that is the same is the yearly reflections. So this is going to be goal setting in January. We'll still do a personal inventory from February, talking about your strengths, your weaknesses, and how you can leverage your strengths. March, or the third month of the year, if you're getting the undated version, March this year is new. This year I included trauma-informed care in the dental op, and I'm going to be doing a full episode on trauma-informed care. It is something that I'm very passionate about. It's something that I teach the students. We talk a lot about ACEs and adverse childhood experiences, which is what ACEs stands for, how trauma can show up in the operatory, and what you can do as a hygienist to help patients through trauma responses. And so on March, you'll see that it has all the responses. When we go into our primal brains, when we're reacting to stress, we typically have 4 responses, right? It's fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And so I go into all 4 of those and kind of explain what providers can do to help their patients through that. April is new as well. So, or the 4th month of the year, if you're at the undated version. April is talking about sustainability in dentistry. So looking at things that you can do to help this beautiful planet we're on. And then the next couple months are the same as last time. I am a perio teacher. I am a perio passionate provider. And so I found that these months needed to stay, at least for the time being. Maybe in future years, I'll change it up. But to me, the clinical attachment loss page is the same. And this is May. And June, again, is the same. June is the comprehensive guide to periodontal diagnoses. This is helping you walk through the written comprehensive diagnosis to make sure that every time you write a periodontal classification, you are writing a complete diagnosis. This page probably will always stay. And then July is our staging and grading. And so again, this is a must for all dental hygiene practitioners. It's just a helpful flip chart, helpful walkthrough of each criteria of the staging and grading. August is a new month. And again, I will probably do an episode on this topic, but August talks about neurodiversity in the operatory. Just reading from the page here, we have things that providers can do to help create a safe environment for those patients that are neurodiverse. Some of the things include optimizing the sensory environment, communication strategies, autonomy, desensitization, and individualization. So these are all things that you as a provider can do in the op. September is also new. September is all about leadership and advocacy. I found that this was a really important theme or topic because all of the stuff that's going on in the dental world and all of this seeming conflict between the ADA, the ADHA, all of that stuff really drives the force behind what dental hygiene is as a profession. We want to be respected as a profession and as an autonomous practitioner of dental hygiene care. And it's important for us as practitioners, even at its most basic level, to be advocates for the dental hygiene profession. Every time we step into an operatory, every time we provide care, we are representing dental hygiene as a whole. And so this has some reflections, some actions about those who may want to get into a leadership role in the future, or just for those that may not be seeking leadership, but want to advocate chairside. So this was a really important addition that I thought I should add, and I'm very proud of it. I think that if you go through these questions and reflections, you'll find yourself really in a place of professional growth. October's month is not new. I kept it in here because, again, I teach ethics, and it's really important for dental hygienists to understand the rights that they have as an employee. These are direct from the Department of Labor and the IRS. I have the resources linked, and I also have videos that kind of go with this. So I left this in here because I do think this is an important aspect for every working hygienist, especially if you're an employee, which most of us are, because most of us work in states where we're not autonomous. November is also the same. November is the ethical dilemma decision tree. Left this in because we deal with ethical dilemmas all the time. So the ethical dilemma decision tree guides you through questions and prompts that allow you to think through problems step by step. And this is really important because it helps us identify actions we can take and things that may feel wrong, but we can't put a name to it. This will help you. It talks about ethical principles like non-maleficence, beneficence, autonomy, confidentiality, justice and fairness, societal trust, and veracity. All part of the ADHA Code of Ethics, and all part of the decision making that you should do in order to mitigate your risk, right? The goal in ethics is to make sure we're practicing ethically. And so we do that with the intent that we are not setting ourselves up either for legal action against us. And so in order to do that, we have this decision tree to help us kind of make those decisions. And then finally, this is the same from the last planner. This is a 2026 yearly reflection, or if you're getting the undated version, it's just the end of the year reflection. It has guided prompts that allow you to work through and reflect on your year and decide areas that you succeeded, any achievements that you made, any challenges that you faced, and it really just helps you kind of feel accomplished, and it gives you an idea of where you want your goals to be. So that is just an overview of the changes and the things that stayed the same from the last year. I also want to talk a little bit about some of the additions that I did. We talked about some of the themes, And some of those themes, like the ethical dilemma theme, I've done episodes and videos on before. And so what I've done in this round of planners is I've included QR codes. So you can see here, some pages have the QR code, including the perio pages. And these QR codes will take you directly to videos that I've done, educational videos that are out there on my YouTube page that help you with that topic. And some of us are visual learners, some of us like the flow charts, and some of us really like videos and learning and hearing these things. And so I included the QR codes because I thought that was a super helpful way to connect learning with what you have on your page that you're dealing with day to day. So you have an ethical dilemma, you go to this decision tree, and then you can go watch the video. At the end of the planner, I included a page with the QR code links to the top 5 podcast episodes that I had this last year. And I did it based on views and popularity and comments. And so these 5 podcast episodes are the top 5, and I included QR codes. That way, if you haven't heard them, you would have an opportunity to listen to them. And one last improvement that I made on this year's planner is the CE tracking. I left the CE tracking pages, you can see them here, pretty vague last time. And I found myself, as I was filling it in, I found myself wanting it to be more specific because as an educator, I have to track my content expertise for the classes that I teach. And as a clinician, you want to be able to track the types of CE that you have for content expertise, especially for risk mitigation. We want to make sure we are keeping up on the CEs in the topics that we are doing. So if you are working for a periodontist or you're working for a pediatrician, this allows you to kind of delineate topic areas like OSHA, infection control, radiology. And so there's spaces here for you to do that are a little more specific than they were last year. Again, I have a QR code linked to a video that I've done on CE tracking and why it's really important. And so just to inspire you, I've included that video right on the page. So that is it for the changes and the updates and hopefully the improvements that I've made in the Grow RDH planner. I do want to show you the undated version. Again, as I said before, all of the changes to the 2026 version were made in this one as well. So these two are completely identical, except for in the undated version, there's no months. So in the month pages, it just says month at a glance. And then in the weekly spread, I just have them labeled as week 1 and week 2 and so on and so forth. This allows you to make this completely customizable. If you're on your game and organized one month and you're just not the other month, you can skip a month and start again on month 2. This allows for a lot more flexibility. I know some planners run June to July, so maybe if that is your planner, you have a planner already and it goes through June, you can get one of these and start it in July. And that's the main difference between the two. These are a limited run, so I have 200 copies of the 2026 version and I have 300 copies of the undated version. They are available on Etsy and on TikTok Shop to purchase, so I will definitely be including the links. And if you have gotten a planner and you would like to share it on social media, please don't forget to tag me when you do it. I would love to hear your comments. I also would love to hear your feedback because I plan on doing this every year and I want to make this planner work for you. So if you have suggestions or you have feedback, please give it to me, and I am just an open book and want to make this for you, the dental hygienist. Finally, I just want to give you a word of encouragement when it comes to planning and organizing. I know that we're all different, and I know that some of us run heavily on a planner to help us organize our thoughts, organize our life. Some of us are moms, some of us are spouses, some of us have full-time jobs, some of us have part-time jobs. And so some of us rely heavily on planners, and some of us just use planners kind of as reminders or more of a date book or an address book. And what I want to say, or my piece of encouragement, is to use this to your benefit for your professional growth. That's what this is for. That's what the podcast is for. That's what the planner is for, is to help you become satisfied and become happy in the profession that you've chose. Having these tools can help you feel more confident. It can help you get that work-life balance that all of us are searching so desperately for. So if you're looking for a way to guide your path, if you're looking for a source of direction, I highly recommend giving this planner a try. I think you will find a lot of satisfaction when you use it. If you haven't seen the 2025 one, I just want to remind you or show you that every week there is a place for reflection. So I'm going to try to get this up. So this area right here, this is your to-do list. And this area right here provides you space to reflect on your week. It asks you to reflect on your wins, and this is a space for you to reflect on your growth opportunities, which are essentially places where maybe you feel like you're lacking and you want to improve. We like to make a blanket around everything in the terms of growth and strength, not weaknesses. So we use the term growth opportunities to allow you to think about places where you have room for growth. These aren't weaknesses, these are just opportunities for you to get better and grow in your profession. For those of you that got the 2025 planner, I want to just thank you for supporting this dream of mine, supporting this work of mine, and I would appreciate so much if you would like, share, subscribe, provide comments, provide feedback, share this with a dental hygienist that you think would value it. I want us all to walk into the next year with clarity and with intention. So we are guided and we can move with direction. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for your support. And I will see you next Friday with a brand new episode.